I love Sony. Let's hear it for Sony. All right, all right. All right. Hey, we are just, what's the word? Ecstatic. We're overwhelmed with goodwill and happiness and whatever. Sony has eliminated, cured, exorcised the black screen of death, and we are back on the air thanks to Sony and the most customer-friendly customer service I have ever encountered in my 100 years of dealing with electronic service. I want to introduce you all to, before we go any further, because I think she's probably getting a little antsy. This is Small. Small. Can you see Small? Small is part of the family. I don't know exactly what Small is. You may look at Small and think Small is a this, that, or the other thing, but this is a very unusual entity right here. Okay, Small, is that enough for you? You want to go over here? What, did you want to say something? Okay, thank you very much. Small's going to sit right there. I don't know whether you can see her or not. Anyway, this is just to get back on the air and get it done video, because we've been off the air for a little over 2 weeks. The amazing thing was that when the screen went black, when the black screen of death occurred, I was actually on the, I think I was at Fisherman's Wharf taping something. I had noticed a couple of instances prior to that where certain little weird things, but then I thought, well, I have some, something in the power system or whatever. Anyway, long story short, I go on the internet, I find out that it's called black screen of death, and there's an enormous controversy going on about, will Sony fix it, will Sony won't fix it, will Sony charge you $200 to fix it, will Sony, fix it for free, and there's a phone number. So that's when I started making that video, black screen of death. I called Sony, spoke to just a beautiful person, customer service person, name of Christopher, gave me all the information I needed, did all the necessary things, went through all the necessary steps, came back to me and said, your camera, style, model, etc., qualifies for a free repair on the black screen of death. I said, Halloween. That's the most fantastic thing I've ever heard. So, within several hours, not too long, bam, I get a shipping thing, UPS shipping receipt from Sony. Wrap it up, pack it up. Next morning, bam, down to UPS, it's gone. 2 weeks to the day, it's back here. It's back in my studio. So I want to take just a little, just like a Sony commercial, I mean, I've had dealings with just about every manufacturer of electronic goods that you could name, going as way back when having a reel-to-reel recorder was a big deal. You understand what I'm saying? And you could never get any kind of reasonable, friendly, swift, complete, etc. service from any of them. Sony's the first one I've ever had this type of experience with, where I simply called them up and they said, hey, send it back, we'll fix it free. End of story, they do it. I got the paperwork right here. I want to thank especially the customer service satisfaction group, I guess, in Laredo, Texas. You guys know who you are? Just fantastic. Of course, there's no names on here, but it does say, thank you for giving us the opportunity to service your product. Your unit has been repaired and tested to factory specifications. Please retain a copy of the final invoice for warranty purposes. Blah, 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 blah. Very nice, very nice. Okay, then on top of that, I get a letter from the Laredo Customer Satisfaction Center. The professionals, that's a very important word in today's world. Professionals. The professionals at the Laredo Customer Satisfaction Center are pleased to have been of service to you. Bam, slash, bam, bam-a-ram-a-dam. Thank you, Sony. Okay, we're back on the air. I, of course, am Captain Kazoo. And this is Captain Kazooz Kazoo Revue, where we talk about all things kazoos. We make music on kazoos. We use electronic kazoos. We had a couple of kind of, what would you call it, do-it-yourself segments going. One on the vocalizer, one on holders for kazoos, guys who want to play ukuleles or guitars, etc., or other instruments while they've got a kazoo so they can spit it out. And anyway, I have we have several videos already about those subjects. So what I want to take a moment at this time, because I don't know how long this is going to run, I have a thing on the web, on Captain Kazoo's Kazoo Museum, the website, www.captainkazoo, CaptainKazoo.com, CaptainKazoo.com, okay? On there, there's a frame, section, I'll call it, that is entitled Ask Captain Kazoo Says. Because years ago, I started a little thing called Captain Kazoo Says, where I gave out tips and blah, blah, blah. And of course, like so many other things run their course and then they disappear and you never hear them again. Anyway, I re-established that. So there's 3 people, count, that's pretty good this time. Last time I said 3, I think I held up 4. That's what I call my John McCain syndrome. Right, poor John, you know, he's getting up there, and you start to misspeak, you know. Anyhow, enough of that. Ask Captain Kazoo. There you go. Ask Captain Kazoo Says. You just, what it says is, if you have a question about anything about kazoos, old kazoos, new kazoos, electronic kazoos, the Yamaha EZ trumpet, which was trying to get, we're trying to get one of those things. So anything about kazoos, kazoo advertising, you know what I mean, the whole thing about kazoos. And I make what I'll call not music, non-objective trance music. It's electronic soundscapes, I guess you'd call them, or something like that, depending on your perspective, or maybe call them just junk. I don't know. So I make those types of videos. We'll call those not music videos. And there's Captain Kazoo's Kazoo Revue, where we talk about all different types of kazoos and kazoo history and guys like Alabama Vest, and you know what I mean. I love it. I go back. I watch myself all the time. Anyway, 3 people I want to address at this moment, and then I think we're going to chop it. And that's Karsten's. Hang on, I got to step out of my. Karsten's questions were about this. We'll call this number 22 kazoo. Hey, made in the UK, used, as far as I can tell, mainly by marching bands. Anyway, I got to go. I'll see you guys later. So, we just had a commercial break. And we were talking with, this is Small again. Small, you want to say hello to the camera? Hello? Say hello. I didn't have the lighting. Lighting in the first one was terrible, wasn't it? I don't know what to do. Anyway, that's not important. The important thing is that when we left off, or just before the commercial, I was talking to Carsden about what he and I are calling the number 22 kazoo. This is a chromed kazoo, and as far as I can tell, they're used in England and made in England. They're used in England in marching bands. Okay, I don't know. That's all I know. So that's that. The other gentleman is Daniel. Well, actually, there's two gentlemen, Randall and Daniel. Daniel, you got to let me know. You got to send me an email or make a YouTube or do something. Say, I get it. This is what's happening. This is what I need to do. What do you think I need to do? Blah 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 blah. Then we can communicate, and I can know where you are, and then I don't have to keep putting tags on everything about hey Daniel, etc. Randall, I don't know whether I completed our exchange of information. I'm not sure about that. Bad bookkeeping or bad record keeping. In any event, what I did want to talk about just for a moment today, and we're going to try not to run overboard. I had a timer, but I put the timer in the Kazoomobile, right? Because I was doing stuff in the Kazoomobile. But now the timer is in the Kazoomobile, and I'm in here, and I don't have the timer, and normally the timer would be right here, and blah, 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 blah. What I wanted to talk about, just for a moment, you can see behind me, or I think you saw it in the first video, this is a piece of canvas, a big piece of, like a painter, not a painter, but a house painter would use, or just throw a canvas. It's not stretched, it's just a raw piece of canvas. And I'm doing a logo, I guess you'd call it. I'm doing a logo. And probably the next video that we'll be showing, or the next show that will be will be me continuing to paint in this thing, whatever it's going to end up as, I'm not sure, but just kind of like my not music. This is not art. You understand what I mean? It's not art. It's non-objective trash. It's an homage to my hero Jackson Pollock and other schluck scam artists like Picasso. These guys realized that they could get away with anything. And you can go into any museum in just about any place in the world, in any city of some size, or just on the internet, everywhere, you will see just absolute garbage. But then the thing is, garbage is art. You see what I mean? Everything is art. Everything is music. Everything we hear can be interpreted as either cacophony driving me crazy, or the sweetest sounds I've ever heard. You understand? Maybe some baby farting. Oh, did you hear that? Do you smell that? Oh, ambrosia. Oh, elixir. Oh. You understand what I'm saying? Everything is in the perspective. So whether it's got to do with art or music or literature or glossolalia, it's all in the interpretation. Do you dig what I'm saying? Of course you do. Anyhow, hey, I have a little seat here. I think it'll just be me and my little seat, and maybe I'll take this over here. Let me see what's going on here. I don't need that yet. Oh, another thing I don't know whether we actually completed it or not, but I did in the way of Pontius Pilate, wash my hands of it, and that was the one-man band. I guess what it came down to was when I was up in San Francisco and met the Sequoia, and we did a duet on the street, just two buskers doing their busking. She had a kind of a mandolin type of instrument, and I had, of course, my kazoo, two-piece. But we each were separate. We simply joined up on the street to do 2-3 numbers. The interesting thing is that all I had was my kazoo, and all she had was her mandolin. In fact, she also played the kazoo. That's one of the things that drew her initially to the Kazoo-mobile, was she wanted a kazoo. She wanted a metal one, and I did not have any metal kazoos other than antique ones. I didn't have any new metal kazoos on the Kazoo-mobile, and I never will. And there's a reason for that, which I won't go into right now. And anyway, the point there was that maybe in your mind, a one-man band is one of those guys with a bass drum on his back and all sorts of contraptions and playing 9-10 different instruments. And that's wonderful, that's beautiful, that's music too. But it's the same thing as one guy, one kazoo, or just somebody standing out there humming. Understand? If I was just standing on the corner, there's a good chance that people would think I was crazy, mentally challenged in some way or another, because people are so stupid. Anyway, I love you all. We're going to continue. We're going to continue working on what I'll call the painting. Let me see if I can do this. Kind of zoom in on that a little bit. Well, I would have to go up and down and stuff like that. But you got the idea, I think. Okay. Okay, that's good. Right there. All right. The next program essentially is going to be, and we're going to try to work on the lighting too. I don't know whether I'm in the light or I'm in the shadow. Well, what I'm looking at is, in fact, I was going to bring a mirror in so that I could show you what the camera sees. And by the way, not final, but to close this incident, a salute once more to Sony customer service and all the repair guys in Laredo, Texas. You did a fabulous job. You got me back on the air, and it was fast, and it was free. So thank you, Sony, Sony, Sony. Don't let anybody tell you anything about Sony products, because they stand behind what they make. At least they do as far as the old cabinet is concerned. Anyway, guys, I got to go. I'm going to continue on my painting, which is going to be kind of, I think, like a stained glass type thing. I think. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. That's a small right over there. That's a small. And I'll see you guys later. Okay? Okay. I'm tired of painting. So I thought I'd play a little tune here, a couple of tunes. Remember this? I've got my my kazoo holder that fits in behind your teeth. Anyway, have you noticed that all of my guitars and other instruments that are supposed to have 6 strings only have 3 strings? That's because a number of years ago I suffered severely from carpal tunnel syndrome, and it's very difficult for me to make full chords out of 6 strings, so I cut it down to 3 strings. 3 strings, open tuning, and who cares? I don't care. This is going back to our one-man band or busker demos a couple of weeks ago. To be a busker, to get on the street, you need a kazoo. You need something else. Maybe you don't need anything. As you know, I've gone on the street with just a kazoo. But any song you can hum, you can play on a kazoo. And you can accompany with only 3 chords. 1, 2, 3, back home. I used to have a guitar course that I called The Endless Strummer. That was basically for people who are dealing with children, senior citizens, etc., want to play some music but are not necessarily musical. So I said, first of all, you take up the kazoo, you learn how to hum. And then you get a guitar, you take off 3 strings, you leave the bottom 3 strings, or the top 3 strings actually, and you play 3 chords. 1, 2, 3, back home. Hey! Well, not quite Esteban, but what the hell do you want? Anyway, kazoo, guitar, 3 strings, open tuning, 3 chords. Go on the street, you'll make a lot of money. I make a lot of money when I go on the street. I got my hat, I got my guitar, I got my striped shirt. What else can I tell you? Anyway, so much for the for the entertainment portion of the show. I don't know how things are going, and it really doesn't make a heck of a lot of difference at this point in time. I told you about, I'm working on the vocalizer with the galvanic skin response GSR monitor. Maybe we'll do that later on today, maybe we won't, I don't know, I'm not sure. Nothing is what it seems, everything is always something else. I still haven't seen Barack playing a kazoo, so I can't endorse Barack. The same goes for McCain and Hillary. Play a kazoo, I'll endorse you. Otherwise than that, hey, you guys are doing too much infighting. I don't want to even get involved in politics, except how it affects my life. Then what are you going to do? Anyway. So much for that. I got to go watch Idol, see who gets eliminated tonight. Do whatever else I've got to do. It's the last day of April. Wow, April went by fast, didn't it? Anyway, I'm going to continue with my painting, set up the thing for the vocalizer thing with the GSR, tune my guitar, clean the spit out of my kazoo, and wish you a happy and a merry, and keep on humming, and I'll see you a little later, I guess. I don't know how much later, but it'll be later. That's okay. Thank you very much.